Yeah,
I'll stay on.
We are on.
Yay! You're a pirate then.
Welcome.
Oh, we're live.
And other unauthorized and rum-fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters around the Gatsby Islands with Gatsby Deep Diving Queen raae and her Nattermob pirates. Yeah.
Hello.
Paul,
And we got a new pirate.
Paul.
name.
And
An
AK.
Hey.
Is that right? AK?
AK.
Or
AK works. No, don't try to pronounce my name, please.
Okay, and Uravel, that's me. It's my profound pleasure to give you our guest, the great and powerful pirate, Lillian!
Hey!
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh. And we're doing SEO today.
Well,
Yes, we are doing SEO.
Yes.
But first, we need to discuss some important bits about Gatsby, the
Yes.
so-called SSR, which I
yes.
always think USSR, but it's not USSR, it's SSR, server-side rendering. So we're going to be discussing. Okay, I need to mute you guys.
Okay,
So we'll be discussing Gatsby SSR versus Gatsby browser that you might have seen in Gatsby documentation as kind of a deep dive before we go into the SEO stuff, the search engine optimization stuff. But I think our first plan was to show what we mean by that. So, like, this is our site now. It's beautiful, isn't it, people? It's beautiful.
cheers.
Oh, I haven't shared it. Thank you. We are. So I went horseback riding today and we just came home. So a little unstructured right now, but we'll get into it. So sharing the screen. If we go and have a look at the Nattermob dev site in that Twitter card validator, it's the one that will show you how your links show up on Twitter. I think we're going to see that it's pretty boring. So unable to run the card preview because there is no data there for Twitter to put into its little card preview. And if we then also go and inspect the actual page, we can see here in our elements, in our head, there are some like meta things, but it's mostly script things. So we have not managed to put any data into this part, the head part. And that's what we're going to try to do today. But first, we will do a discussion on Gatsby SSR versus Gatsby browser, if I'm right, Paul.
Yeah. So I think let's dive in, and I can talk you through each one. But in short, Gatsby browser is what gets injected into the browser, and JavaScript is enabled to do this. Gatsby SSR is server-side rendered, so Gatsby will do this at the build step, so that anything we add to that file or any component that we wrap in that file will be statically generated. This is where you would want to do meta tags for SEO so that they're available in the page to be scraped without JavaScript. So are you looking for disabled JavaScript?
Yes, because if we disable JavaScript on this site and we reload, it's going to look exactly the same because we're not doing any special JavaScript on kind of the client side. So what we build when we build the site is the same thing that we'll see even if we have JavaScript enabled. It just so-called hydrates so that it turns into a JavaScript application and can start doing more JavaScript-y things. But what's important for this card validator is that the data is there in the same way that it should be there if we disable JavaScript, because when when Twitter or Facebook or Google comes looking at your site, they are not going to wait until the JavaScript has like done stuff. It needs to be there in the HTML even when the JavaScript is disabled. Right?
Correct.
Woo! Did it!
All right. So I guess let's start by doing a test where we can visually something that's rendered by browser and then a test for something that's rendered by server. And we can use the two APIs, Gatsby Browser and Gatsby SSR. So we'll start, if we jump into code and make a new file at the root.
Yep. I am just gonna also, sorry, we need to
Make a branch.
I should probably make a branch, and then whoever has access to their Twitter should do a little retweet. So people might join us. There we go. Because right now I think we got Ula and Agata in the chat. Ula is ready though. I mean, AK is ready to like rule the chat, but then we need some people in there.
I don't know how that's gonna work because I don't know. If
I don't
know. I'll try.
Oh, yeah, you can go into. Yeah, you could probably do that. Anyway, let's get back into it. You wanted me to create a Gatsby something in the root.
So Gatsby-browser.js in the root, please.
Yep.
Okay, and we're going to use, now, do they call them extension points or do they just call them APIs? Hang on.
I think they call them APIs.
Yeah, so this is going to be, we're going to utilize the wrap page element API from Gatsby Browser, which actually works in Gatsby SSR as well. But if we just write this out, so import React from React.
Oh, I cannot spell today. As always. I mean, not today, but like always. Okay.
And then we want to do export const. And it will be wrap page with a capital P and element with a capital E. And make that an arrow function. And
I did something weird. Reset zoom. Okay, there we go.
And the first param in an object is going to be element. So this is something that Gatsby returns or passes in for us. And then we want to
hooking into Gatsby's kind of internal stuff. So we're actually trying to do exactly what it says. We're going to wrap the page element. So whatever is on the page, we're going to wrap it as a gift.
And I guess in this instance, element is whatever the Gatsby page is. So it could be our index. It could be one of the individual video pages. But if we return a div with element as a child, and then you and your inline styles, let's whack let's whack a style.
Yeah, let's do some styling.
Oh my God, I can't look.
And border, our old chum border 1px solid red.
Solid red. Oh, not ref, but solid red. You don't like this, Agata? Or sorry, I'm supposed to call you AK. Why am I now calling you Agata? Anyway, you need to pronounce your name at some point during this stream. Inline styles is just like super cool. It shows that you know CSS, right?
Yeah.
Anywho.
It shows your confidence that you will always want to style things the way you do.
Yeah. Oh, Fabio's on. Let us know if you want to like jump in, Fabio.
Oh, Fabio. Bonjour. Right, anyway, copy all of that. Everything you've just written. Thank you, Fabio. Is it my velour jumpsuit? Let's make it look professional. Or is it the 4K camera? I can't be sure.
You can't be sure.
Yeah, copy all of that, including the React import.
Hey, wait. Break. How do I get this flying dev guy on the stream? Can I just click him or something?
He has to like
you
go
can't
into
force people to be on the stream the way you forced me to be on the stream.
How do I do? Can I just click? I don't know the StreamYard very well.
No, he has to go into the StreamYard. He knows how to do that. So you can't.
He's choosing not to join us. I understand.
Yes.
It's a Seinfeld episode. I choose not to run. Okay, I get it.
So we're gonna copy all of that, and then what are we gonna do, Paul?
I want you to make a new file at the root called Gatsby-SSR.js.
SSR, okay.
And paste that in. and replace red with blue.
Well, what if I want like hot pink?
Ah, you and your inline styles.
Orange red. Isn't there a color? Orange. Orange. Okay, well, I'm going to do blue because I can't spell. Or did you say green?
Okay, make sure you save that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, first thing, let's run a npm run build. So this will build out a static version of the site. And then when that's finished, run npm run serve.
Okay, it's taking its time. Well, let's have a...
Do you have any background music?
It's usually me in my own streams. It's like...
Okay, musical instruments. What are typical pirate instruments?
Here, I have them right here. You can't see them probably, but it's break this glass and there's a pirate party going on. So
why do you have safety glass in the house?
AK are saying I must break the glass. I can do it. I can do it if you say so. Yes, I'll do it. Okay, I saw you nothing.
I am the master moderator. No. We definitely not going to use the break. Right. Oh my god.
The build is done.
Oh no, they fell on the floor.
Okay, and then also, if you can go back to...
Okay, kom her. Det sikkert ikke du skal rosa.
And run an npm run develop.
This is just a mess now, Willa.
Okay.
Guys, this is some really important stuff that we're talking about here. We're talking about server-side rendering. Come on, focus.
Huh? Did I screw it up again? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, so
I promise never to do it again. I promise.
Recap: we have created a Gatsby browser where we have wrapped the page element in the div, and we've set the border to red, and then we have Gatsby SSR where it's blue.
Correct. And then
now we're looking at it, and we are seeing the blue color. Is that because I then have disabled JavaScript?
Nope. So if you go back to VS Code.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check if. Yes, it's there. Okay. I'm just gonna mute my family because this is not working out for me. They're there on mute. Go back to VS Code.
Yeah, and then do an npm run develop, and when that opens up, open up localhost 8000 and put the two side by side.
Okay. npm run develop. Well, now we need the music again.
Yeah. So develop was red, SSR was blue, right? And SSR is on localhost 9000 and develop is going to be on localhost 8000. So we've got basically two instances of the Gatsby site running. Yeah. One is the static.
But I am confused now. Isn't this supposed to, when it hydrates, turn red?
Well, open up localhost 8000 side by side.
Well, it's just gonna. I can do my do. Okay, it's done. Do not unmute yourself, Ulla.
So I'm going to tweet.
It's red.
I'm going to tweet the show now.
Yeah.
Are we doing like SEO and Open Graph?
Yes, we will get there. We're just gonna do this discussion first.
All right.
Okay, Paul.
Okay, so if you put the two side by side.
Yeah. You want me to put them side?
Well, we don't have to. I guess we can all see. But in the developed version, which is red, and in the build version it's blue. So that's the difference between Gatsby Browser and Gatsby SSR. They're those two files that we just created. We've got exactly the same thing in each file, except we changed the border color. So when we build the site, the SSR wrap page element knocks out whatever we'd set in the develop one. So it basically overwrites it. That's not always the case. It's just in this case, because it's exactly the same DOM node, it's just going to replace like for like. But it demonstrates the fact that some things run in browser, some things run in dev. That's not to say other stuff that we put in Gatsby Browser wouldn't also be available in the built site. It's just in this case, it's not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for me, in my mind, I thought it would be the other way around, that it builds it, and that would be the blue, and then when it gets into the browser, and then the thing hydrates, as they call it, when kind of it goes from being static HTML and back into JavaScript application. I thought then the Gatsby browser would kind of like knock out the SSR. So I would have thought that it would like hydrate and become red.
Yeah,
so this was interesting for me.
I think probably because it's exactly the same DOM node, SSR wins out. But normally, like you're saying, it would rehydrate with anything else that's in Gatsby browser, and that would appear somewhere, and you'd see it happen after the JavaScript loads. So that's the theory.
Now I understand why. Now I understand why there was like a white flash on somebody's site. I think in like a theme thing, because it was probably the same DOM node, but then it didn't like get the correct theme set after it hydrated.
If it was a CSS and JS library, it could be a runtime thing where it's waiting for the page to load before it actually does its stuff. Whereas these kind of newer, like I think we mentioned it before, vanilla extracts, it's like this runtime CSS library. It will actually produce all the CSS on the server so that when the page loads, it's already there. It's not waiting for the page to load to then run JavaScript to inject the styles into the head, which will then style the page. Like they'll be baked in the same way that our border 1 pixel blue is baked in. So it took us 17 minutes to put a border on an element.
Well, we have been messing around. Like for this show, we definitely need some timestamps so people can jump across our bantering at the beginning of this stream, and also check the description to sign up for the newsletter so that you will get notified 30 minutes before we go live. Okay.
Right. So
can I ask a question on that one, actually?
Sure.
So what is because you're rendering the page server side. What is actually the 10 of events, and what happens when, and what are the likely timescales, especially if you have third-party libraries that you're loading, and what would be the use cases for choosing one or the other?
This is what we've actually done. So like in our site, if you disable JavaScript, all of our YouTube videos are still there. They're baked into the page. This is what Gatsby will do for you. And there's a number of extension points that Gatsby provides that you can hook into as it goes through the build. And one of the ones that we use to do this is called source nodes, which happens very early on in the build step. So it will go out, hit the YouTube API, grab all of the data, return it, add it into Gatsby's GraphQL layer using that there, create node, which then Gatsby uses to kind of split it out, put it into HTML pages. And that's how you end up with an effectively statically rendered HTML page like we had back in, 1974. So it's kind of odd that like where we're at in current day, and we've got all these mad JavaScript things, and all we actually end up with is the same thing we had 25 years ago, but
you get to use React to make it.
Exactly.
So for each of the YouTubes, it renders a page, so an actual HTML. So now I've disabled JavaScript. This page will still work, and you can like click to the next page, and this is a proper like HTML. But we can also then turn on JavaScript, and if we had something fun on this site, like a timer or like a blinky something, then it would it's called hydrate, and then the JavaScript would start working.
What are you talking about, Fabio? I'm a young man. Can't you tell by my demure jumpsuit? I keep calling it a jumpsuit. It's only the top half, I promise.
Get out.
Anyway, I think your other question, AK, so that was our use case. I guess there's lots of the Gatsby source plugins work in exactly the same way. So like you can source data from anywhere and effectively end up with the same thing. There are advantages and disadvantages to statically rendering site content. Obviously, if it's statically rendered, it might not be live and real time and up to the minute, which is where you would need to use something like Gatsby Cloud that would listen out for changes and rebuild the site constantly. But that's a different thing. We've sort of gone off topic a little bit, but
it's a good one. But it's also interesting, I think, if I remember correctly, if you end up making a completely different DOM tree, like you have different DOM nodes. Here we have a div on both of them, so they kind of match well. But I think if you make like a completely different wrapper for the SSR and the browser version, when it then hydrates, like it gets messed up because suddenly the DOM has changed, the HTML elements have changed. So they should be like similar, shouldn't they, Paul?
Well, a common pattern is to create like a page element component and then render that, or rather return that from both SSR and browser. And then you would put all of the stuff that you want on every page in your page element component. That works, well, for me, that's worked 99% of the time, with the one exception of when I was adding a custom font and I was loading it into, I was using an emotion global style tag. And because it was in the page element, which was present in both browser and SSR, it actually loaded the font twice. So there are some cases where that kind of abstraction isn't helpful. Fonts is one of them. I'm sure there's others, but for the most part, yeah, you're going to want browser and SSR to be the same for that wrap page element. I mean,
but you might have other JavaScript. So you want to try and have the same kind of DOM tree, but then in Gatsby browser, you could like add some things that then would fetch some like newer information, calling some APIs or something, and like adding content, but not adding new DOM elements would be the like way to do it.
The watch out with that page element is, you know, there's two things actually. So there's another API available in Gatsby browser and Gatsby SSR called wrap root element, which persists across every page. Wrap page element unmounts, so it's for the page, not for the site. But I have seen people get tripped up by that when you include something in, say, wrap root element, and you're bundling this JavaScript for use in every page, but you might not need it. And this is where you start to see like sites getting quite heavy, because the way the code splitting works, it just includes a load of crap that you don't need. So you have to be mindful of this. Like, it's useful, but it is a bit of a kind of, it can be a bit of a sledgehammer. You know, like you go, I'll whack all of this into my site, but just think about it. Like, it is possible using source pages and a number of other methods to inject code where you need it. You don't have to go for the nuclear option every time. In the case of SEO, we want it on every page. It's important. So
and also
we've got two borders. Let's go.
Yeah.
Can
and for POW, I use.
Can I say something since we're just talking in a way?
We were going to move on.
No, that's why I did it. Sorry. In Vespos' Gatsby course, he does the same that you guys did, but instead of like adding a border, he adds a poop emoji. Just like you said,
because it's more fun.
You know, adding a load of crap, so he just goes off right off the bat and just does that. Yeah.
Stop comparing my learning techniques with Wes Boss, Ula. It's making me look bad.
No, you're using the same. You said a lot of crap, and he just did it visually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but we have to get going because we're already at the 20. I thought like last stream we would be bantering. That was like the height of bantering, but we are like going further today. But I just wanted to say I use Material UI theme system for my app POW, and then you have to wrap the root element, because otherwise it would like reload all of the theme settings on every page, and it would like get janky on like every page. It would like load in there. It's kind of like thing.
That's the key difference. Wrap page element unmounts, wrap root element doesn't. That will persist across every route. Right. We can try and put some SEO in if we knuckle down. Yes. No talking for the next 3.5 minutes and get this done. Right, let's multitask. In your terminal, kill that process and run npmi react helmet
npm install React helmet.
And Gatsby plugin React helmet.
Anything more?
That's it. Run that. And while that's happening, let's make a gatsby-config.js at the root.
New file. Gatsby config.js.
Yep. And that is going to be module.exports equals object.
Equals what?
Empty object for now. Yeah. Object, not a function.
Oh, it's just like that.
Yeah, that's it. In there, let's make a key called plugins, which is going to be an array.
I never write this out myself, Paul. It's a hard.
And we'll
do everything manually.
We'll do the Carl Matthews approach, and we'll use backticks because he loves that rather than single. Yeah, and it will be Gatsby plugin React helmet. So we've installed a Gatsby plugin. You've got to add it to the plugins array, and it's plugins plural.
Plugins and then plugin React helmet.
Yep.
So chat, do you know why it's called React helmet?
Because it's made by NFL, right?
I was asking the chat, Paul.
Oh, right. Sorry. But we're having a conversation.
I wouldn't have guessed. I was thinking it's because of the head helmet, helmet on the head.
Yeah, but they called it helmet because it's the American Football League who has made this package. Okay. I get feedback now. Who has their audio on?
The chat answered.
Good.
Okay. So next up is going to be in source, make a new folder and call it components.
Components.
And in there, let's make SEO.js. And import React from React.
Do we still need to do that?
Well, apparently not with React 17, but and this will be const.
I will get better, Paul. I promise.
And export default. Yep, you got it. And then we need to import helmet from React-helmet.
Helmet? Is it just like that?
Capital H.
Okay.
And first param will be children because we'll wrap our page element with this. And return a fragment and return the children. And then either above or below, probably above, we want to make a new helmet.
Oh, we want it open, right? Because we're using that.
We're going to put some meta tags in there, so you can do that. Now, just for now, rather than going completely mental with this, because there's a whole load of stuff to it, let's just put in some defaults. So it will be, let's put an HTML lang in.
So?
Yeah, and it will be lang equals en-gb, I think it is, isn't it?
Well, that is British English.
Well, I'm British. Can you not see my cushion?
Okay.
en-gb, I think, isn't it, for the full?
Yeah. Something like that.
There we go. And we'll probably want a title tag. Nattermob. Okay. All right. The Queen Ray Show plus British plus British guest.
Well,
let's put a meta.
I have to write out the full show name.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's put a new meta tag in. This one will be, the name will be title.
title again?
So no, meta. Yep, and then space, name. Yep, title, and then close that. We can do it as we'll use the content attribute, so you don't need to have children on the meta.
Okay. What does this do?
So this will be the title that appears in the browser tab.
Isn't that this?
Sorry, not in the browser tab. This will be the meta title of the website. So this will be this will appear in SEO. So content after the name attribute. And that'll probably be the same. Yeah, probably be the same string that you had in the title thing.
Well, let me const.
Yeah, good idea.
Title. Whoa. We can do it. We are at the half mark. Would this be correct?
Without the string, yeah.
I always get confused when it's not like a child element, but like a content or element. Yeah.
And then I guess just to be a little bit more specific about, not specific, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, underneath the HTML tag, let's put a link in. And the rel will be the canonical.
I don't know these things. You have to spell it out. I always copy paste it.
CANONICAL.
That's not correct.
It's canonical.
I'm dyslexic, okay?
So,
there we go.
There you go.
That looks correct. I have a spell checker.
And after the rel canonical, we need href. And that will be in a string Nattermob. Well, I guess it would be HTTPS.
Well, now we are going to make all of our pages have the front page as its canonical ref. That's not okay.
For now, it will do. We will.
Okay.
Right.
Well, now we're doing wrong. This is wrong, people. This should later become the URL of each page and not like the main URL.
But we can do what we want because we're pirates.
But each page will always have the same href to start with because they're all on nattermob.dev, aren't they? They'll just be /slug.
Yeah, /slug. That's what we need after. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get onto that. I think you might need to put an HTTP in that as well. HTTP or HTTPS. What are we on? Are we on HTTPS?
I guess so.
Right. That's probably enough for now to demo that we've got a SEO tag. So now we need to add that to our Gatsby SSR and Gatsby browser.
So we want to wrap in here. We want to do SEO, and let's hope it imports it for us. Yes, it does.
And remove that folder style thing because SEO doesn't support that.
Yeah.
And then you can do the same in Gatsby SSR.
There we go.
Okay, so you can now run either Gatsby develop or Gatsby build, Gatsby serve. I guess if you run the build and the serve, we can disable JavaScript and we should
let's do it. So we're going to build it and then we're going to serve it.
Yeah.
So now we have some time to, anyone have anything fun they want to share while we wait for the build? Any questions in the chat? Feel free.
I have a question. For the break. Are we doing the break zone?
After this, we'll do the break. Now we just have a mini break.
I'm going to ask you a question, AK.
Hi.
It's going to be painful. If you answer wrong, you have to walk the plank.
Wait, let me put my tactical hoodie on. What's the question?
Well, that's for the break. He's just like psyching you out.
No, for the break. Oh, he's just okay. I'll make sure my internet connection is going to drop before then.
I enjoy having you on, AK.
Why, thank you. So I feel like I can't do the chat and the stream at the same time. But then
but you're allowed. You don't have to watch. You don't have to like look at the stream. You can like chat.
It's hard not to though.
Yeah.
Someone talking to me on the screen all the time.
Look at that. We have the href here, and we have a title there, and then it's even added the title. Oh, we added the title, I guess. So there they are. There they are, and they get a little extra data React helmet, so we know that it's coming from our helmet. So let's disable JavaScript. And then if we refresh, as we can see, there's like no JavaScript running, but we still have that data in our HTML, even when no JavaScript is running, which is exactly what we want.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. In order to get that Twitter card to actually render the stuff, do we want to go all out and try and do that?
We can do that after the break, and then I can push.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was the break. How long's the break?
The break is, I think Ola has a question for AK, and then I will just keep my screen on there, Ola, because I will then create a branch and push it up, and then maybe we can even get this into Gatsby Cloud.
There's a celebration.
So I'll do that while you talk.
You won't.
Woo, thank you.
You won't pirate. Yes. Oh, it went away. Don't go away.
Well,
come back.
I pushed on it. We're fighting for it. Okay. Go ahead, Ola. You're on.
Yes.
You're in charge of the break.
So, we must take away that from my face. So, for programmers who are meeting you for the first time, AK.
Hi.
Could you tell us what you do when you're not in the sharky waters around Gatsby Island?
Mainly eating ice cream. I have a mild ice cream addiction.
All right. Which flavor is your favorite then?
Coconut.
What?
Well, actually, it's pistachio, but coconut was the thing this week.
You're talking about the brown, hairy things that hang on trees?
Yeah, but I eat it in an ice cream form, and it's covered in chocolate. It's delicious. I just have this little shop next to me, and I just get into the shop to get some ice cream. It's just like, I don't know. They're just bite-sized. Like I can't help myself. And other than that, I'm a baby developer. I'm not a junior. I'm a baby developer.
You are a toddler. You are a toddler developer.
Where do you work?
I work at The Economist.
The Economist. I love The Economist.
I have no idea how that happened.
I love The Economist. You know, what's it called? Benedicta's mother. What's it called? Something in law. Mother-in-law. She reads The Economist every week. She gets it, and sometimes I look at it too.
And you should too.
I know, it's great. Yeah. So, but when we finish with that, could you tell us a tall tale? You know,
I actually never understood what tall tale is.
I have an explanation here, which I usually give to people before the show so they can prepare, but I'm not nice today. So
I'm unprepared, and it's not my fault.
Yes.
It was a spur of the moment thing.
This is the explanation. An almost true story from real life to get to know you better.
Okay. No, see, I would need to prepare one. Maybe next time.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I can't. So I can tell you that I have a mild addiction to something else, but I actually have quite a few mild addictions. But yeah.
But we have a tall tale, so I know AK from our JavaScript study group.
Yes. You tell it.
Was it JavaScript? No, we started with React, right? I retained no.
Yeah, we started with React, but that's also JavaScript, and then we went on to JS, but I think people have fallen a little off because the book isn't as interesting as
Wow, that
the
was
other book.
That was a really tall tale, Queen Benedicta. I'm blown away. Did you
I
have a
think the
tall
book
tale?
ends and people just have like, I don't know. Sometimes I was missing it because life just takes over, and it's just, I don't know. But no, it's always good company, and it's been keeping me sane during the dark times.
We have had so much fun on the Mondays, actually, with chatting, kind of like these streams. You know, we do talk about JavaScript, but we also talk about all kinds of other things.
Yeah, at the end when we remember to talk about JavaScript. No, we try to, and sometimes we are so good at talking about JavaScript, and usually I ask a lot of questions, and because every answer just leads to more questions. So yeah.
I don't know what's wrong though, Paul, because our build has nothing on it.
Yes. That happened to me when I did the poop emoji thing with Vespos.
So let's have a look at your code. Did you wrap the entire page in? Did you what did you build? Do you have like a different branch for it? Or
I don't know, maybe I did something wrong.
What have you got there?
Does SEO return children? We did do that bit, didn't we?
Yeah, it returns helmet, and it worked on dev.
Oh, right. And it works on if you run a build.
Yeah, it runs on the build and serve. This is the build and serve.
Oh, okay. Huh.
But it's not working on the.
I'll tell you what you could do. Jump back to cloud. And on the top right, on the drop down next to trigger build.
Yeah.
On the drop down next
to it. Like a little down arrow.
There, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't want to do it on main though. We want to do it on this one.
Oh.
Or can I not rebuild?
Not from that, I don't think. No, not on the preview.
Yeah. Well,
see, we should just never go and do these builds.
This is what happens when you don't do the poop emoji, Paul.
Yeah.
Vespos is gonna laugh at you when he watches this stream.
Are there any errors on the page? I'm just trying to. I'm trying to get into your Gatsby Cloud account. Here we go. Is there any errors?
No. Where do I see the log?
What about view full reports? The link on the bottom.
There. Thank you. Oh no, that's this.
Oh, that's just.
Yeah, but look, it shows me that it's not like nothing.
I mean,
we got very good accessibility.
In that build preview, it has added the meta title and everything that we put in. It's just missing the body, which is odd. So maybe it is something we did that we're not seeing. Did we run a develop locally? I'm just curious to see.
Yeah, maybe the cache was.
Did we mess something up?
Where does the Nattermob come from? As in like the.
That is a tall tale for another day.
No. The H1. Oh. How does it get rendered? Was my question.
Yeah, it's on this page. It's.
Well, I'm
Oh,
intrigued.
I know. I messed up my Git. Because I checked out main and then I didn't update main. I am sorry. I promise not to do these things just like YOLO, but then I do. And then Paul will yell at me post stream. Right?
No.
Yeah, that's. Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I should have done a rebase, but now our index page actually contains something. Thank you for that debugging, AK, because now there's actually things going here. You are not a baby developer. You're like
I am such a baby developer.
At least you're a toddler developer.
I'm at a crawling phase. I'm crawling for documentation right now.
Okay, there. Okay, we're gonna try and build it again then. Do we want to do something more, Paul, with our?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what we could do is actually put in a full set of meta tags just while that's happening. It's a bit of a faff, but if you go to metatags.io, we can just do a bit of copy and pasting, and we're going to have to change quite a few things. But
I like that copy pasting. I like it.
So on the left there, you see where it says channels. This is going to select Google, Facebook, and Twitter. That's good enough for now, I think. And top right, it says generate meta tags. And
why did I not know about this page? This is the main things people will take out of this today's show is this meta tags IO. What were you saying, Paul?
No, nothing really. just rambling. We might have to go in and change a couple of things in there, but just be warned, first off, when you copy and paste this in, if you scroll to the bottom of that lump of code, you see that it closes the meta tag as one thing. Over to the right somewhere.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so because this is React, we're going to have to, you have to delete that last closing meta tag and then individually close each meta tag.
Oh, we should send a PR to these people.
Well, it's technically correct. It's just we're in JSX now, not HTML, so it's slightly.
Yeah, but we could contribute to the JSX version, couldn't we?
No comment from anybody.
No, it's like I don't want to do more work. I'm not going to do it.
That's right. Somebody could do it. Maybe.
Well, I have a question because I think I've missed it. Did we use React Helmet or Gatsby React Helmet?
That's an excellent question. So, React Helmet is a JavaScript like component. Okay, so React Helmet will kick in when JavaScript loads. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this, so I'll choose my words carefully. React Helmet on its own is largely pointless because all it does is inject the meta into the page when JavaScript loads, which is great. But when Twitter and other open graph technologies look at your page, JavaScript hasn't run yet, so Helmet won't have injected the meta tags. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it does seem really pointless.
Yeah, I don't fully understand it, but I imagine because there's a React component, you can do exactly the next part, which was because we installed Gatsby plugin React Helmet, that will allow us to use React Helmet, but in the server-side build. So Gatsby will take that and then bake it into the page. And that's why when we disable JavaScript, we're still able to see all of those meta tags that have been baked into the page. I mean, going back one step, and interestingly, the reason I discovered Gatsby was because I built a couple of my portfolio websites in React when I started learning it. And I became frustrated that you couldn't have proper SEO and proper metadata, and you couldn't have individual open graphs for like portfolio pages, because when I was using Create React app, it's not even an HTML file. It's just a script tag that says loads of JavaScript in, and that's what Create React app is effectively. So Create React app's not great for building websites. It's good for building like web applications, but all of those things that React has been brilliant at, it stripped us away from all the things that HTML used to do. Whereas Gatsby now kind of goes, we'll take all the best bits of React, and we'll also statically generate your HTML like we did in the past. So that's kind of like the middle ground. So in order to get SEO working with Open Graph and all the rest of it, you need to do both in Gatsby. Use React Helmet and Gatsby plugin React Helmet.
Okay. It sort of makes sense, but at the same time, it just remind me of that going full circle thing where we, internet used to be simple and then we overcomplicated it and now we're trying to simplify it again.
Well, this is the thing, like the problem that React solves for us is huge, like it's massive. Like going back to a world where you would have to manually manipulate DOM nodes when data changed is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, but don't you miss those times?
not miss those times.
Banana gifts.
Do not miss those times. But I guess one of the things that one of the problems React did cause for us was the fact that we didn't have pages anymore. We just had a massive JavaScript file. And so this is the bit that Gatsby solves for us, because it sort of allows us to develop the way we want to develop in React, and we get to use all that goodness, but we still get HTML pages at the end of it. And I mean, I've said this many times, but like, Gatsby is React. Like, if you just forget Gatsby even exists for a moment and you want to just build a React application, you can build it with Gatsby. You don't even really need to have any Gatsby knowledge, apart from the fact that maybe you want to know that pages have to live in source pages. That's it. But if you look at the surface level when you install, and it's the first stream that we did, you only have to set up about 3 files when you build a Gatsby site. Whereas when you clone the Create React App Starter, there's just like, well, I don't know, I haven't done it for a while, but I mean, the last time I did it, there was just loads of files everywhere. And I was like, what the hell's going on with this?
I think it's pretty simple. Oh, I suppose it's only simplified because, like, when you've seen it so many times, it kind of the brain just ignores the extra bits. But yeah, I think first time I was using a Gatsby starter, but that was the first time I was actually using anything React related. I was a little bit blown away because I didn't understand why things weren't just feeding from my main file.
But I think the important bit about using the Gatsby plugin helmet is that it gives you all of that server-side rendering goodness.
Yeah.
That you would have to like then create on your own. Because I've used Helmet even with the Create React app just to like change the title when you change pages, but it wouldn't change the actual like outputted HTML before you visit the page. But you could still like do funny things with things that are outside of the app.
So if comments in the chat. I don't know. It's good.
Good one. Paul nails it.
Thank you.
But I also think that the Gatsby plugin React Helmet, the plugin does that we can actually do this on the pages, and we don't have to like do it in the Gatsby browser and Gatsby SSR. And we will get to that next week, where we get individual data. We want to have we want to have the titles and the canonical URL be different for each page. We're going to solve that next week or on a future stream. What are you laughing, Ola?
Did you say Earl?
That's what I think. That's what I heard.
Did you show anything, Ola? There was a comment above what you were showing.
I showed.
Nailed it. And
Nailed it. Nailed it.
That's what you are joking about. Okay.
Did you see it? It was purple nails. Look at that. Yeah.
Okay. So I've pushed all of this with not very well written meta tags, and we'll see if that is built and if we can check it out in the Twitter card validator. Yes. So now if we run this in the Twitter card validator, it looks like a proper card. And then on next week's show, we'll make sure this is an image, a Nattermob image. And then also that title and the description will be specific to the page that you are on. Now we've just made something that is global. So any page will give you this card, but then next week we'll see how we can make it specific for the individual pages, if I'm right, Paul.
Yeah, I think so. Like we'll make it work a bit harder for us. At the moment, it's just demonstrating that it works.
Yes. It looks pretty.
What I would maybe say though, before we merge this in, it might be a good idea to actually put some Nattermob specific data.
Okay, we got 7 minutes. Let's co-write all of this data.
I'm just worried that Google's going to go away and do its thing, and we're going to suddenly be associated with metatags.io, which might increase traffic. We don't know. Like, it might be a good thing.
So our description then would be all you have to say it are rum fueled and
rum fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters.
Hunt and
in the sharky waters around Gatsby Island.
There's
Gatsby Islands. Several islands. Yeah.
Islands.
Yeah. There's many. But
okay.
But I need to say one thing though. Sorry.
You might want to
AK, you must prepare a plug.
Okay.
I'll ask you for a plug, and you need to show it on your screen. I don't know how we do it, share your screen, but we'll do some magic, and you need to show it. You know what I'm saying? So you say, go to this link, and then show us this thing on your screen. Okay,
or I can go to the link for you if you want.
Yes, that's good. Share it in the private chat with Benedicte right now, so she has it. That's good.
Do you want a Discord, or is there a chat here?
Yeah, it's a private kind of chat. Can you see it? It's on the right-hand side there.
I'm not very good at technology, so
not me either.
Okay, you know, I'm just gonna send it to you on Discord.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay, and then the OG title should be the same as our title. And then our OG description should be the same as this description. So that's the funny thing about this stuff, people, is that all of the different services want it in their own tags, but basically the same info. So we're just gonna reuse it. Okay, I am doing strange things. Description.
Right. Vad skedde där? Vad skedde där?
And then we need an image at some point.
You could take image out and just comment out the Twitter card large summary if you want.
Yeah, we'll find an image. Domain. If I can, we'll do a couple of minutes over. Seriously, why do all of you have to have different ones? Description. This is the funniest things people have seen. Somebody, and then that's the image, and that's the image. Okay, this looks good. So let's commit that. Commit staged amend.
You
and then
want to also remove the orange and blue border?
I think we did that earlier.
Okay. Maybe I missed that.
We have a comment from John Hansen. I don't understand it, but maybe some of you guys do.
Yeah, so 155 to 160 characters. I guess we need to count that then at some point. How many characters are this?
I'll count it now. I'll count it. I have it on my paper.
But I think I can count it like in.
No, don't do what you're supposed to do.
No, we have 70 characters, Ola. It says line 8, column 70. So we have less than 70, so we're good. All
right.
But count it if you want to. But thank you for that insight. Okay, now let's do the image.
So, yeah, do you have an image? Because we'll need to make a... Oh, this is maybe something we can talk about, actually.
No, but what I usually just do at this point is that I just make a static folder. Is that what you're
That's what I was talking about, yeah.
But then we need the URL because it's not going to be on the actual URL.
It won't be on the preview build, but I guess if you merge it in, it will be there eventually.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the image next time, because then we'll show people how to add meta to the config as well to use here so that it's not like hard coded like I've done it right now. We'll do that next time. So I'll comment out the images for now.
I don't know what's going to happen if you comment out the the Twitter card content large summary. Try it. I don't know what Twitter will try and render. But yeah, yeah.
I'll test it. Commit, stage, amend, which is like, what's my, I think it's whip. Work in progress.
Whip.
Using all the top dev tricks here, aren't we? Commit messages,
whip,
force pushing. AK, don't listen to any of this. This is...
I can't look at committing from VS Code. Like I have to use the command line.
Yeah, that confuses the hell out of me. When Benedicta did that the first time, I was like, "What have you just done?"
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
Oh!
It's so weird though. I have to I write the message there, but then I.
Man kan go sun.
So next week she will be in bed again. This is not working out for me.
You'll have to talk to her labor representative about that. Not labor union is what it's called, isn't it? Sorry, not labor. That's something else.
Yeah.
I have to say, Benedicta, you're doing a fantastic job this week with everything that's going on, and I don't really feel like I've talked you through anything. You've just sort of done it.
I am muting them again. I am so happy with this mute thing. Okay, this is our build. Let's check it out. But I'm also thinking though, Paul, at some point we should maybe take some of these wisdoms that people like the most and make shorter educational videos.
With the inline styling and
what about doing
it looks like
Gatsby
we have
shallow dives, and we could just do. What about if we get on TikTok? I hear that's pretty cool.
Gatsby paddling pole.
Look at it, a run-fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters around islands. I forgot Gatsby.
Just any island, just wherever, really. Hey.
So now we have a chance to actually call it something else than VIP. We can do, let's see, undo last commit, and we'll say social tags, meta tags.
I like the fact that Fabio commented with TikTok. Now you can click.
Oh no!
From what I hear, Fabio, it's a social media platform.
Let me stop. I can't.
I'm muting them again. We'll see now. So there are not that many people in the chat I can see. So you're all invited to the after party, right? I'll put the link in. It is. I'll do it as a plug. So if you want to come and hang out after stream, then you are all welcome. I will.
Where do we do that? In here?
Whereby?
Oh, in Whereby.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Fabio was asking.
Am I invited?
Yeah. So you're definitely
you're a pirate
invited.
now, AK. You're a pirate, whether you like it or not. You're in.
Yeah.
A parrot, not a pirate.
A what?
Pirate.
A parrot.
Oh, right, sorry, my accent.
It's like pirate in Yorkshire.
But how do people get there if it's so secret?
Well, I'm gonna create a space
secret
for us,
space where you can share it.
Mm-hmm.
I get
No,
it.
I'll share it with everyone because anyone who's in the chat is more than welcome. And then we got Fabio, we got Meltwater, we have
John Hansen.
John Hansen, we got
AK.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
So John is asking where is the Gatsby config, and we did add the Gatsby config here, and all that's in there is the Gatsby plugin React helmet so far, because so far we haven't used any plugins. We have just done stuff here in Gatsby Node and the other streams. So let's do plugs while I create the place where we can all hang out afterwards, and then we'll wait for the build again.
I'm not sure if I have a plug because it feels a little bit self-congratulatory, if that's a phrase or word. But someone liked one of my blog posts that I wrote, and I was quite pleased. I was quite happy about it because it's never happened before. No one reads anything I've done.
She wrote to you on Twitter, right? It's the lady you're talking about. This lady that wrote to you on Twitter.
No, it was
not a lady, is it?
No, you're talking about Monica, aren't you? Because Monica answered, but
Oh no, I'm talking about Lane Olsen.
Oh no, it's not a lady.
No, that's not it. It was, sorry, there's like lots of things going on here.
It's the one you commented on, Benedict has said.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that, but I was put on a Twitter list today, so things are.
You've got a fan in the chat, Paul.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yes. Look at this.
Oh. This one.
Oh,
here. This was incredibly helpful. Thank you, Paulie.
Oh my God.
Look at that. This is the one.
Thanks, man.
Huh?
Yeah.
Are you seeing? Yeah, you're seeing it. Yeah. Oh, and then you have how people do like your stuff.
Well, that one was particular. I really enjoyed writing that one because it's.
Look at this one. Blog posts from Paul are amazing to read.
Woohoo! I'm gonna have to actually read one now.
Thanks, Meltwater. So yeah, it's not a plug, but thank you to Lane Olsen for saying that. It meant a lot. Like no one.
Is Meltwater actually you? I signed it as Meltwater.
Are you are you commenting as Meltwater, Paul? Meltwater, you need to show up at the after party so that we can see that you're not Paul.
I'll come back with a slightly different haircut, and I'll be Meltwater. Hello, I'm Meltwater.
So if you want to show up for the after party, people, it's then lilylabs.whereby.com/Nattermob May 7th.
When do we do that then?
When we close this stream. It's something I just made up, Paul.
Oh, right, okay.
Roll with it.
Stop doing new things that I'm not aware of. Can't handle it.
Okay, people, let's wrap this up.
Hey, what about my plug?
I am gonna check the. Okay, keep on plugging then.
AK has a plug, and you have to show it.
Mine's a tiny plug.
Do you have it there, Ben?
I panicked.
Oh, you put it on the Discord.
Yeah, I think.
Discord. That's very modern.
Okay. It's only, and I've shared it in the chat. It's just that Sheffield Women in Tech have an event next week, mid-month, I think on the 18th. It says there on the 18th. Yeah. I'm well prepared. And it's on digital innovation, and it's a Sheffield Women in Tech event, but it's online, so anyone can join. So if anyone wants to come, it's going to be very sort of informative and, I don't know, like brain tickling. So come along.
Cool. People should definitely show up for that. And then I think Ola has a plug.
Lilian and me, we are writing a book. It's in beta, and we need you. No, I need to share my screen here. Share.
Let me know. I'll put it.
Is it the book that you get by email?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I signed up for it.
Here it is. It's here. Yes. Olavea.gatsby.io.uk. You write Lilian here, and then your email there, like that, and you click subscribe, and then there is no backend. There is no backend there, so I'm manually sending out the email. So maybe on Thursdays. That's what I did yesterday.
We'll write you a backend.
No, he's going to do it himself.
No, yes, I am working. I'm trying to work, Let's talk about that some other time. Yes. Okay, Lilian, wave. Wink. You.
Okay. So let's.
I got a compliment too. Look at this.
Ooh.
We pretend that's
so.
For me.
Let's check it out now if we have Gatsby Islands, and then we can wrap it up. Gatsby Islands. Yes. We got it. So,
okay. Merge that puppy in, Benedict. Get it in there.
I will do it. I will do it. Let's do Gatsby. No, not Gatsby. Let's do the GitHub.
Are you sure you don't want to change the description? I quite like the fact that it should be Queen Raae / British assistant.
Okay, so we have a pull request, and then why do we have 2 pull requests? I don't know. Let's skip that. Then
that's gonna be another stream.
We only have 85 on our SEO, so we got to work on that. Let's see why. SEO.
How did you automate it? Was there a string for it?
It pages blocking from index.
Why?
And does not have a valid canonical. Oh, because it's pointing to a different domain, which is not.
Yeah.
But also, I think actually the right thing would be to not have a canonical at this point, because then it would just use the actual URL. So I think the correct thing would be to remove it. And then we have a xrobots tag none. It's because this is a preview, so that's why they're blocking. So I think that when Gatsby does a preview build, they add the xrobots tag none, so that preview builds aren't indexed by Google.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So before we do this one, I will actually remove the canonical, if that's okay for you, Paul.
You do you.
Because I think it's actually wrong. It's better than that it just uses the URL. Yeah. But if we, for instance, were sharing to dev2 or some other kind of, or Medium or some kind of site, then we would want to, on Medium, say that the canonical URL is the one that we own, because then we are saying that we actually kind of own the page or the article instead of, So let's move that. And then we remove. And I'm going to copy paste that word because I cannot spell. And nobody can tease me for that because I'm dyslexic. So just so you know.
Odd. I've got a number of letters. So I moved.
NPM push.
I got a number of letters where I'd signed up for things, and I'd put my my first name twice. So sorry, I put my surname twice. So where the field said name, I put Paul Scanlon, and then it said surname. So I was like Scanlon. So I've got letters that arrive for Paul Scanlon, which is quite interesting.
Okay, so I'll do my plug then while we're waiting, and then we will do the summary. So I'm going to plug, because I tried not to plug it last time, but so I'm going to plug again my side project, POW, the Privacy First Menstrual Cycle Journal. And tomorrow at 8:00 on this channel, I will be doing my monthly update. So come check that out. They're usually just 15 minutes. So no big commitment if you show up tomorrow at 8. Okay. Oh, it's already built on Gatsby Cloud. That's fast. So Gatsby, you can cut that out and just like use that in your advertisements. So let's view the build again, and it's still working. Yep. Okay, let's merge it. Where am I? Sorry, I'm like jumping all over the place. And let's squash it and just like SEO. There we go. Were we doing conventional commits feature?
I have been, but you don't merge my stuff in, so I don't know. It just sits in PR.
Okay, we did it. We did it, everyone. I'm just closing down everything, and then hopefully this will all go live on Nattermob.dev in a few minutes. So let's do the summary. And I'm again going to mute my family because I'm going to kick them out soon. Anyway, let's go over to our code. So today we wanted to make sure that our Twitter card and other kind of social media places show our content in the correct way. So we started by looking at our site to see if it had a proper validated card. And as you can see, the Nattermob.dev has not built yet. So this is what we were seeing at the beginning of the stream. You can't really show a card preview. So to fix that, we needed to use React Helmet, which is a little package that helps you add tags and meta tags to the head of your page. Because as you might know, when we're doing React and then Gatsby, which is React, we don't really have kind of access to that head area because we're working inside of the body often. That's where we kind of do all our magic. So Helmet helps us with that. And it's called Helmet because it adds stuff to the head, but it's also made by the American Football Association, the NFL something, whatever that abbreviation is. So we made an SEO component and that adds all of this data in, and it's all kind of hard-coded for now. We're going to fix that in the next stream. And then we went into both our Gatsby browser and Gatsby SSR and wrapped all of our page in this SEO component so it shows up on every page. Did I miss anything, Paul?
No, I think that's it. Good job.
And then we're going to see if the Nattermob dev has been built and now shows us all of these tags. No. Why is Gatsby Cloud not building our main site? And when this has been a long one. When we've done that, everyone is invited to an after party. And then it looks like it's built. It's just that probably my browser.
Deploying. You can see in the thing there.
Oh, so even though well, now it's deployed.
Yeah, and it takes a couple of seconds after that. But the card validator Twitter cache might not update. But I have a little trick for that as well if it doesn't work. And even that trick might not even work. But
no, the data is still... Well, we're not going to wait for this because we got it working on our build. So we're just going to check on our older build to show you what we got. So this is all the data that we have added. And then if we put that into our card validator, then we get our nice preview here. Yes. That's it.
It's there now, by the way, if you want to do the live URL. I've just checked it.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, sorry. It might not be there in Twitter, but it will be
yes,
there.
Yes, it is.
There we go. Okay.
Woo. Great. So this was quite a fun one, at least for me. I have enjoyed having AK here and Ola and Lillian and Paul, all of us. So John is saying, based on our Gatsby config, I'm guessing this site may take a pirate year to build. Entertaining, though. And that is exactly our plan. We will be doing this for an hour every Friday for months and months and months. Okay, Ola, will you do the end? Lillian, nå må du være stille.
No, she can't hear you.
Okay.
So, what's the next show then?
SEO continued.
Good. Okay. So this has been another unauthorized and rum-fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters around the Gatsby Islands with Gatsby Deep Diving Queen Raae and the Nattermob Pirates. Yes, that was AK waving too. And we have Paul, the navigator there. Okay, Lillian, wink. Lillian and Ola. Okay.
Right. Everyone waving for the 3 men. Keep waving, AK. It might be.
It's going to take a while.